I'm sure you guys have heard the whining about how racism and hate crimes are on the rise in the US. Like, oh my God, it's just everywhere you look, there's racism and hate crimes. That's why they have to keep inventing new ones. Like, that's how we got microaggressions. Like, the whole purpose is to just grow the numbers. But despite record numbers of racism and hate crimes, why can't they point to an actual incident of racism or hate crimes instead of continuing to make shit up? A Texas Democrat candidate charged with sending himself racist messages. Yeah, there's just so much racism in the US that they have to manufacture fake racism to play the victim. Because, yeah, there's just so much, right? Like, that's the way. That doesn't make sense. That's kind of weird. Tra Patel, a Democrat candidate for Fort Bend Precinct 3 commissioner in Texas, has been arrested and charged with online impersonation and misrepresentation of identity after he allegedly sent fake hate messages to himself on social media. Okay, so when is Brianna Wu going to be arrested for that? Oh, wait, probably never. Because this guy lives in Texas and Brianna Wu lives in one of those communist Northeast states. So, yeah, Texas actually enforced this. That's good. The Texas Rangers arrested Patel after he allegedly spent months sending racist and demeaning comments to himself, impersonating a supporter of incumbent Republican Commissioner Andy Myers, per Fox News. And this is why you should never take it seriously when they try to smear someone based on what their followers do. Because more often than not, I mean, first off, let's actually just get the big one out of the way. You're not responsible for what your supporters do. The first, unless you explicitly asked them to do it, you're not. You shouldn't be held accountable for what they do. That's the first issue, actually. The second issue is the far left is known to do things like this. Like, you ever wonder why they're not demanding that we track down and find the identities of and dox all these people at the right-wing rallies flying Nazi flags? Isn't it kind of weird that the side that always doxes and harasses people for some reason doesn't want to dox and harass all these guys at right-wing rallies that are covered in Nazi paraphernalia and flying Nazi flags? Why is that? Could it possibly be because they don't want to ruin one of their own lives? According to the arrest record for Patel, the investigation was launched in October current year -1 after Myers requested authorities look into who was responsible for the vitriolic comments made at Patel. I wonder if this Myers guy knew that his opponent was doing it to himself, because I actually don't think he did. I think in this case, he was like, I'm getting sick and tired of getting my reputation damaged because of what an alleged supporter of mine is doing. So as a show of good faith, I'm going to weaponize the government to find out who this supporter is and get them shut down. And it just so happens to be his opponent himself. I literally think that it was like this guy had no idea his opponent was doing it to himself. So this is just the funniest outcome he could have had. Patel went even as far as to use the real image of a Fort Bend resident as a profile picture of one of the hateful commenters without the individual's consent. Oh, God. And watch that guy got doxxed and harassed because of this. In one particular Facebook post, Patel shared some of the alleged hateful comments to his supporters, saying they represented a deep and misguided fear in the Republican Party. Oh, man. If I was Myers, I would make the entire rest of my campaign about this. Hey, the Democrats keep doing all this hateful stuff and trying to pin the blame on you. Are you going to put up with this? Are you going to keep giving them more chances? As your Democratic candidate for the county commission, I need to do the voice right. As a Democratic candidate for the county commissioner, I am always open to criticism of my policy positions and stances on issues. However, when my Republican opponent's supporters decide to hurl racist, anti-immigrant, Hindu-phobic, or otherwise disgusting lawsuits or insults at my family, faith community, and colleagues and me, that crosses a line. as he was the one across that line hurling all of this at himself. Yeah. So Fort Bend County Republican Party Chairman Bobby Burl called Patel's alleged behavior deeply concerning. Dude, put them on blast. All of your advertising until the election should be talking about this. Do you really want to vote for the party that keeps smearing you as racist when it was them doing it to themselves? Democrats are not going to take this seriously until you actually do guilt by association on them. Because in case you haven't noticed, like if you haven't noticed this yet, they're allowed to do guilt by association on you, but you're not allowed to do it on them. Like they do it to you all the damn time. Like this guy. It's like, oh, look at what this guy's supporters are doing. And then when we turn it around, hey, look at what these guys are doing to themselves. Oh, we're not all doing that. Oh, it's not fair that you all label us with the same brush, RGE. Like, man, you can fuck right off. Because how much you want to bet? All of this guy's fellow Democrats were fully on board with attacking the Republican guy over what his alleged supporter was doing. No, you're going to have to do the same thing to them. They are never going to stop doing this until they find themselves on the receiving end. Now, whether Republican or Democrat, such tactics should be unequivocally condemned by all who value integrity and accountability in politics. As if we haven't had that for like 200 years. Come on. So, Bro said in the statement, this is not a partisan issue, and the good people of Fort Bend County should be able to trust that when allegations are made, they are sincere. Fort Bend, and look, Democrats, like you literally just gave the Republicans an excuse to virtue signal and morally grandstand on a fucking silver platter. Now they get to be insufferable moralizers for another couple of months because of you. Because you fucking proved them right. Fort Bend County residents deserve better leadership than someone who will create a fake account and post manufactured racist attacks, attempting to turn neighbor against neighbor for political gain, he added. Yes, now start putting that in all the ads you buy. Every single time a Democrat candidate makes an accusation going forward, always bring up this story. Like, hey, could we get the cops to corroborate that? Because we remember what happened last time these accusations were thrown out.